Okay, to make our printing block, we're going to use this piece of foam and a mechanical pencil that doesn't have any lead in it. So if you have a mechanical pencil that's run out of lead, don't throw it away, give it to me, because this is what we use them for. What you're going to do is you're going to draw your landscape, drawing the horizon line in last. So for me, I've got a little path here that I want to draw. And you just push lightly in, and you can see that when I push lightly in, it leaves an impression there. See if you can see that. There we go. And I'm going to draw a tree over here. And I'm going to draw some mountains. And a little pond. And then, after I've drawn all of that, you see that? I'm going to draw my horizon line in. Careful to not go over my tree. Pick my pencil up, so I skip over my tree. And there we go. And I'm going to draw some clouds in the middle. Or in the sky, right there. Cloud in the middle of the sky, cloud over here. There we go. And there is my landscape. You can see that. There we go. Okay, what you're going to do now is you get to color it in all different ways. We're going to color it in for different seasons. I think the first season that I want to do is fall. So I need a red for my tree. Now when you color it in, you need to be very careful that you use the side of the marker and not the point of the marker, because we're just coloring it in. Let me show you on the back what happens if you use the point of the marker. If you use the point of the marker, like that, and then when it's time to color it new, and you've wiped it away, see it's left an impression there. And that's no good because you've basically just ruined your print, or your printing block for the next time. So very gently, using just the side of the marker, you color it in just like a coloring page. And let's see, I'll need brown for my tree, because the trunks of trees stay brown no matter what the season. And I'm going to do yellow grass, because the grass turns yellow, dies and turns yellow in the fall. And then I need blue for my lake. And I also need blue for my sky. And I'm just going to move it around. And remember, very gently, and using the side of the marker only, color this in. Only using the side of the marker. Carefully coloring inside those lines. Now here, if I color on the wrong side of the line, I can just take my finger and wipe that marker away a little bit there. And then I still need to do my path and my mountains. My path will be brown. And be careful not to touch your print after you've put some marker down, because it will just transfer onto your finger. Your finger will get messy and your printing block won't look as good. Because we're putting ink, it's like putting ink on a stamp. And I don't have gray, so I'll just use black for my mountains. There we go. And now I've got a printing block, which is a lot like a stamp. Then we need something to stamp it onto. We're going to take this piece of paper, we're going to fold it in half one way. We're going to fold it in half the other way. Then, with crayon, write your name. and 2, whatever your class code is. You'll have a damp, now this is damp, not dripping wet. See, when I squeeze it, no water comes out. Okay, so you have a damp sponge, and it fits right inside one of these rectangles. You push it down and you pull it just inside one rectangle at a time. Then you very carefully flip over this printing block and lay it down and push it, holding it on this side, push it, holding it on this side. Very carefully pull it up, and there you have your print right there like that. Now see this? There wasn't enough water on my paper, and so where there was a lot of water, or where there was enough water, it printed, and where there wasn't enough water, it didn't print very well. That's okay. We're going to make another one. You wipe this down, and you want to wipe it with a wet paper towel. I have a wet tissue here, that will work. A wet paper towel or wet tissue, and get it nice and clean. Then you're going to do a different season. See, the season that I'm going to do next is going to be summer. So now my tree is going to be green, and so is my grass. So I color in my tree. Now my mountains aren't going to change in the summer. They're still going to be black. Remember, very carefully using the side of your marker. And see how I color everything in that's going to be that color at once? That way I only have to get that color once. So blue is going to be in the lake or the pond and in the sky. And see how I turn my paper around so that I don't smear with my hand when I'm reaching across. Okay, so now it's all colored in. Oops. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my damp sponge. I'm going to push damp sponge down on the paper and squeeze it along. Do that 3 times. Make sure it's nice and wet. Carefully lay down your printing block. Careful, careful. Push it down, push it down, push it down. Very careful, careful. Pull it up. Oh, that's nice. There we go, and it printed very nicely that time. Okay, and then I could do winter and spring for this one. For spring, I might add some flowers inside there. Okay, now you're ready to go.